going to the other class. Okay, with a subject and a past form of a verb. I finished my homework after lunch. I ate a sandwich for lunch. So I subject finishes the verb. Okay? Now we form the past form of the regular verbs by adding the D or ED. Now, for the irregular verbs, we follow the past tense by changing the whole word. Okay, word. Like for example, the word go. When it turns to the past tense, I change the word. So went, eat, ate. Give me some other examples. Buy, oh, sell, sold, catch, cook. Okay. Now we use the auxiliary verb did. Auxiliary verb did to form the negative statement. So when I have a sentence in the past tense and I want to turn it to the negative, I have to use the auxiliary did. Okay? We didn't like the film last night. So this is the time expression last night. Then I use the word didn't. We didn't like the film last night. Now, if I want to ask a question in the past, what word do I use? Did you hear? Okay? Did you hear? What's wrong with it?
This is the same.
No, wait. Okay. Now, why do we use the simple past? To describe an action that happened at a definite time in the past. An action happened in the past and it's finished. Okay? I traveled to Paris in 1995. What is the time expression here that tells me this is the past tense? Time expression. In 1995. Okay? Whatever. In 1995. And the word I traveled to Paris in 1990 or 85. Okay, next, why do I use the past simple? To talk about an action that interrupted another action that was in progress in the past. For example, I was studying, that's a long action. Then comes the short action, which is in the past simple and interrupts that long action. I was studying when the electricity went up. So the short action that made the interruption will be put in the past simple. Past simple. The short action that interrupted the long action will be put in the past simple. Wake up. Okay. Now, another point. To talk about actions that happen in a sequence. Sequence means here one after the other, okay? Actions that happen in the past, one after the other, okay? Like, for example, I came home. What did I do next? I picked up my laptop. What did I do? Next? I left. Okay? So you get several actions in the past. Now, when you want to narrate you want to tell us a story or narrate a movie you have seen, tell us the plot. So we use the past, okay? Past. It was getting dark. I was walking down the road when I saw a strange man, okay? Now the time expression together, yesterday, last night, last night. What is the time expression here? Last night. Okay? What about with a stated verb? I had an exam yesterday. Okay. Okay, now let's be aware of the endings. Now, if I have a verb ending with most verbs, we add ed, okay, when it ends with a consonant, okay? Let's take an example. Verbs which end in a consonant, okay, we add e plus a d. Like if it has the ending e, we put d. Like live, I only put d. Move, I only add d. Why? Because I have the ending e, okay? But if it ends with a consonant, I just put ed. Straight away, I put ed, okay? Now, what happens if I have a verb ending in w or in x, okay? You do not double the consonant, but what do? You just add ed. You have a word ending with a w or with an x. Now, verbs with two syllables ending in l. What happens if I have a word ending with l? Like, for example, the word travel. And I want to put it in the past tense. So, I have a consonant at the end. So, what do? I double the l and I add ed. Okay, you double the last consonant, okay? Now, if I have a word ending with a y, okay, and I want to turn it to the verb, so I drop the y and I put I-E-D, okay? And verbs in an I-E, you add just the D. Like, for example, a verb, tie, and die. It ends in I-E, I just put the D. Okay. Now, let's move on to the past continuous, okay? Now, we form the past continuous tense with the past tense of be plus the verb plus the ing. Were you listening to the radio last night, at 9 last night? Were you listening to the radio at 9 last night? So I'm asking you, at that moment in the past, an action was going on. So you were doing something. Okay? Yes. Were you listening to the radio at 9 last night? What were you doing at that time? Okay. You were watching TV. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it too. I waited till 12 or 1 o'clock just to wait for the president's speech, but I did not hear it. I wanted to know what he said, but I heard that in the network channel it was already on at 8 o'clock. No, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Okay, now say yes. Nothing new. Okay, it might be repeated today. Okay, let's get in with the lesson. The uses of the past continuous. Now, why do I use the past continuous? To describe and Mia, listen. Now, to describe an action that was in progress at a specific time in the past. Mary was working at 10 yesterday. I have the time and I have the day. I am telling you that there was an action in progress around that time. Okay. Now, we use the past continuous when we want to talk about an action that was in progress when a second action happened. Now, remember, I had a long action. Long action is in the past continuous, okay? Interrupted by a short action. For example, I was studying, that's the long action, that was the action in progress. It was happening, and then they rejected that example. They say, I was having a bath while my husband was cooking. So how come my husband cooked, okay? Because maybe the wife cooks, but here the husband is, he's cooperative, okay? He's helping his wife. Okay. Now the time expression, excuse me, just a second. The time expression for the past continuous, we use the word as, there's supposed to be a comma here, as, while, all morning, I was working all day. I am focusing on the duration, okay? Okay, now, take out your, the grammar booklet and turn to page 38. I'm going to put it right now on the screen.
No, but you get it right on.
There's no speak. You are not. We will all hear it.